Shut up and sit down.
Ready, son? Live, son. All right, we are at Benton Street here in Woodstock, Illinois, with my man Dan Speicher, aka Danny New Vintage.
What's going on?
What's going on? This is a rusty one for me. It's been like 3 months since I did this podcast. Today, every Sunday, I believe here they have $1.50.
Yeah, it's $1.50 cans.
Cans.
Talls or smalls.
You can use your joke here if you want.
I'm a Miller Lite guy.
Only cans.
I actually got a lot of shit for that. Everyone's always just like, why don't you drink real beer? I like to be hydrated while getting drunk.
As I'm over here drinking a Busch Light.
So shout out to Miller Lite.
Shout out. That made me think of, it's not T-Pain. I'm trying to think of who says that shit. God damn it. He sings Beast. He's Tech 9. He's like, drinking Malibu rum. He's like, they ain't paying me for it, but I like it. Or some shit like that. Yeah. Not yet.
Same thing. Miller Lite is definitely not paying me, but I will say it every day. So Miller Lite, pay me if you're listening.
It was a little weird. I haven't drank in like 3 weeks, so I'm like really sipping on this Busch Light and then soda water. So.
Yeah, it's a little weird for me also. I haven't drank in probably about 12 hours.
Understandable. So you got the hair of the dog going for you?
Last night I was hanging out at one of my buddy's bars. His girlfriend was bartending. And I was at that good cutoff point where I should end the night there. And then they were like, hey, let's go do bottle service at Benton Street. And I was like, yeah, what could go wrong?
Nothing.
So ended up having a bottle of Kettle. And
here?
just watching, here.
Watching what?
My buddy Mark S's was DJing.
Oh, okay.
So I came to support him and do it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything.
No, it's in my head, when I go out, it's usually like an MMA fight, or I guess I'm on a totally different level though. I guess I don't really do a lot of music anymore. I think the first music show I'll be seeing coming up that's not around here is Prof, and Sioux Falls coming up in December 3rd.
Well, that's the thing too. There was a bunch of MMA. UFC had a killer card last night.
Yeah.
So I was sitting in bottle service, actually the table next to us, and I'm like, someone may have had it streaming on something somewhere in our bar. Not gonna say for legal reasons, but
right.
This kid next to me at the table next to us had his phone on, and it was a UFC fight. So I watched that while we were doing bottle service, and my dude Mark Estes was playing. So it was a fun night, but due to the time change, we were actually allowed an extra hour. And that extra hour was definitely a brutal one.
See, for you, I got an extra hour of sleep. I was in bed and almost asleep by midnight, but then my kids got up at 5 a.m. instead of 6:30, so that was fun. So I was just thinking about that on the way here. I'm like, my kids have already been up for a good 8-9 hours already.
That's for me, that's eventually I think I'll do the kid thing. I think.
Pull the trigger.
I mean, there's a whole other side of that.
Goalie and trigger?
Yeah, I have to actually date someone to get that part of the equation. But
What? You're in the wrong door. That's why. That's fine. No, I'm saying that you'll see people. You'll see people. Cool. Good talk.
So for those of you that are listening and or watching, what we just saw was some lovely regulars of. Actually, I've never seen them before in my life.
Some patrons.
Woodstock folk walking in, being assholes like normal. So,
yep. Check one. Check two. Guy behind him felt bad for us having to deal with.
Getting in the door is a hard part. That guy
one.
definitely struggled with the door.
Yeah, he's like, it's dead. I'm like, because this isn't the fucking entrance, dumb shit. But yeah. Oh, okay, so you're talking about Mark Estes. Mark Estes was here. How often do you still do shows with him?
We used to actually for 5 years, almost actually 6 years. For 6 years, we did every Friday and Saturday, basically playing shows together for 6 years.
Yeah, I remember. You guys were always here. I mean, then you guys also got a battle, not almost like a battle, but a war of where you guys could only do it at certain places, right?
Yeah, we started off at Benton Street. That's where we started the DJ drum thing, which we kind of stole from DJ AM and Travis Barker doing their thing.
Okay.
But we put our own spin to it. We started doing a lot of basically we sang with backing tracks.
Yeah.
And then we just, all the popular music. over the years. Then we had like a residency at Benton Street to start out. Then there was like a feud between Mark and I for like 6 months. So we went to Poorhouse.
Yeah, so I know you were Poorhouse a decent amount, but I thought like it was a thing between, not between you and Mark, but a thing between like, oh, Mark, you met Mark as in like, here, Mark. Here, Mark, not like your partner. Mark.
No, not my drum partner.
Gotcha. Okay,
my
yeah,
boss.
that's where I was at. Yeah,
sorry.
That's why. No, it's fine.
So then there was a little feud there. So then we stopped doing that, and then we went over to Poorhouse for a minute, and then Dan Hart gave us an offer we couldn't refuse. So we went over to Cobb's for about a year, I think, maybe a year and a half. But I will give a shout out to Dan because that year there helped with my marketing.
Yeah.
He's very good at marketing.
Yeah, very good.
And so I really rebranded all my stuff. My name at the time was DJ New Vintage.
Okay.
I scrapped that, and that's when I started the Danny Vintage stuff.
Oh, now it's Danny Vintage?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was Danny New Vintage still.
Yeah, no, it's.
I guess I don't like look at the Instagram thing.
A lot of people say it's DJ New Vintage or Danny Vintage, but it's just Danny Vintage. So I didn't want to be typecast as like just a DJ because I do a bunch of other stuff.
You do so much other shit. Yeah,
so I wanted
DJing.
it to be like kind of a bunch of things all in one.
All right, that's cool. So, how often do you do shows now? I mean, it's you get like Instagram. Where can people like find your upcoming shows and shit like that?
You can find my stuff on Instagram, Facebook.
So your Instagram is
Instagram I use the most. Snapchat I use a lot too.
Is Danny Vintage?
It's weird. I like posting stuff on my Danny Vintage page, but for some reason I always post it on my actual page.
Okay.
Because I have 4,000 followers on my actual my personal page, opposed to my very low amount on my Danny Vintage page. I think it's only 1,000 on that one, so it's just easier to throw all my stuff there.
So I want to transition this into a whole other thing. Yesterday I tattooed Stephanie Salinas, aka Steggy Stardust.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So and then Mal was there, and I didn't realize that you married Mal and I'm brain farting on her husband's name.
Roy.
So I didn't know that you were ordained and married them.
I've done 6 weddings.
No shit. I didn't know. That's my next question. I'm like, how many weddings have you done then?
I'm 6-0, no divorces.
Okay.
I've been friends with Roy since we were like 5. We played baseball together growing up.
That's what Mal was saying yesterday.
And then I ended up becoming friends with them, hanging out with them in high school.
Yeah.
And then Stephanie is Roy's cousin, like not by blood, but like just family technicalities. Like they're friends, family, become cousins or whatever. So I met her, and we became really, really good friends for a long time, and that's kind of how I met them. And then my buddy Joey asked me to be his ordained minister. Then they asked me, and I've done 5 other ones. So
hell yeah,
it's terrifying.
Oh, I bet. I mean,
you don't want to mess up anything.
Do you memorize the script, or you hang papers with you? And
no,
stuff?
I have it in my hand.
Oh, I would. Hell yeah.
And I dress preacher kind of.
Nice.
Like suit.
Did you do the white cuff?
I don't do the collar. I could. There's also a free parking pass that I guess you can get for being ordained. I don't have one, but I kind of
rock it.
It's like a handicap parking thing.
Just pull up wherever you want. Pull up literally next to Walmart.
Pull up and do whatever.
You're like, what are you doing, sir? Don't worry about it. And you just pull out your fucking ordained pass.
Sorry, you're gonna have to move your car. I'm ordained.
Expecting mothers. Boom, ordained.
Whatever, they'll make it.
Make it work.
They'll figure it out.
So yeah, Stephanie and I, we first met. I used to work with her at Stone Meta, which used to be Turnkey Digital, which is Turnkey Digital, still over here on the square.
Okay.
But they were on 47. This is my transition between teaching and then becoming a tattoo artist. There was a very small stint, like a 2-year stint of graphic design in there with Turnkey and a small company called Stone Meta. That's where her and I worked together, and they would send us to different car venues and shit like that. The big one obviously is in McCormick Center in the city.
It's really cool to see her cosplay thing really take off and
oh yeah,
do that.
My
so
kids
shout out if you guys are into cosplay and all that stuff.
Yep.
Definitely check out Steggy Stardust.
Yeah, at Steggy, STEGGY Stardust. Yeah, she's fire.
Definitely sweet.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd when it comes to Batman and stuff like that. Actually, we didn't get along about that because she's a big Superman person.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Fuck you, Superman.
Fuck
I don't like
Superman.
you.
Yep.
I'm a Batman.
I like Batman because he's just a normal dude. I know he's rich and all, but he's just a normal dude.
There's nothing cool about Superman. I'm sorry, there's just not.
Fuck it. What was I watching? He's like, oh no, it's some stupid cartoon thing. That
Also, if you're wondering, we're watching the Packers-Chiefs game, so
yeah,
if there's any pauses.
I'm a huge Packer fan. Like I even got Packer like shit tattooed on me. But it's the point to now where like Jordan Love's playing, and it's like we're playing the fucking Chiefs. Even though Chiefs aren't that good this year, but of course we're 7-1 and fucking anti-vax. Rodgers gets. I think Rodgers is gonna get fined and suspended for a little bit because he lied the whole season so far.
I don't know. He's such a face though that I don't really think they're gonna really do.
Do you think they're going to? I think they're going to fine the shit out of him. I think they'll just fine him. I don't think they'll. I think they would suspend anybody else, but I think you're right with the face. I think they're just going to fine.
I feel like he's AA Ron. No one's really going to do anything.
AA Ron is right.
I'm a Steelers fan. So the Steelers play the Bears tomorrow night.
I put money on.
I turned 35 on Tuesday, so I'll be ringing in my birthday.
35
at work.
Oof.
Watching the Steelers hopefully beat the Bears.
All right.
But the Bears are my secondary teams. It's like one of those things where like every 4 years they play each other about, and everyone's always like, "Oh fuck you! Who are you gonna root for?"
Of course, I'm
Steelers every time. If they're both really good though, I stay in my house and I watch at home. I don't leave. I don't go out.
I'm glad Big Ben's playing tomorrow because otherwise that game was going to be a little more iffy than I thought.
I want him to retire, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
He causes more harm to my life than good.
So who do the Steelers even have a backup plan yet? I mean, did they draft anybody?
No,
Mason
they
Rudolph.
drafting
I don't think
quarterback
Mason
wise
Rudolph
has
is going to
been
take off.
awful.
Yeah.
But historically for the franchises, they have like one quarterback and they go with that guy forever. Like Cordell Stewart, the forever guy.
Ever.
Slash. Terry Bradshaw. Forever.
Here's the new face of the Packers, supposedly. Fucking Jordan Love.
I like him, I think he could be okay.
Nah.
I'll do my best announcing.
Well, how about this? I just don't like.
Second and one.
Second
Love.
and one. I just don't.
Fakes the
Oh
handoff.
shit! I'm just not a big fan of how the Packers handle like the Favre situation, and then how they're handling the Rodgers situation. I understand, but I'm like, dude, Rodgers is still slinging, man. He won the MVP last
I think
year.
it was
Can't be
shitty
fucking-
too. But I think that like they knew that his end was coming, and they knew what they had in Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So like we got to start this.
Oh,
kid.
yeah, I do understand, but again, it's like, well, right now I'm like, oh, Rodgers is still pretty fucking good,
I feel like that's a beautiful problem to have.
I'm not a Bears fan. I'm always hoping for the coach to get fired or something.
And okay, so here's the thing. So I don't want people to get misconstrued. Like, I am a Steelers fan, die hard, but I also am definitely a Bears fan, and I've gone through all the shitty Bears seasons, the Henry Burris days, the 8 other quarterbacks that work at car washes now. No offense to working at car washes, I love them. They're great.
You're always covering your.
No disrespect to any other job.
No,
I'm just
dude,
saying,
that's
like,
I'll stay on point.
this dude you've never heard again.
Dan Speicher, we're gonna have Dan Speicher, Benton STreet. There's gonna be fucking picketing outside for you talking shit.
I'll be canceled again.
The seven listeners on my podcast.
It happens yearly. I get canceled once a year.
You're not allowed to ever do a show at a fucking car wash.
My car
ever
washing
again.
and detailing days are
Nope,
over.
they're gonna just key it up.
But no, like there was a bunch of quarterbacks that like we
course.
knew that played for a year or two and then they disappeared and like we're like what happened to that dude? And the big argument that I have with people is I love Jay Cutler. I think that he's funny as hell, and not only that,
his fucking
he was a great quarterback.
Lethargic demeanor.
Statistically, he's the best Bears quarterback we've ever had.
But now you have,
and I think he deserves more love. And I think the city of Chicago is very quick to judge and say like F you to teams and all this other stuff.
Oh, I mean shit. I mean this.
And it's just like you gotta understand that there's a process. I think that the McCaskies need to sell the team.
They do it's the upper management shit that is just ruining that team.
And that's what I felt about the Blackhawks too. Sometimes like upper management is just like absolutely awful.
I just made eye contact with Haley. It got weird.
Ooh, I got a question.
What's up?
So,
BP.
my man Brian Powers.
BP.
Who is the most famous female artist you've ever worked with? Maria Brink in this moment.
Maria Brink in this moment.
It's actually a phenomenal story. So,
yes,
there was Monster Energy was having this tour called the Women in Rock Tour. It was sponsored by Revolver.
Okay.
So Revolver Magazine and Monster Energy had the Women in Rock Tour. It was super awesome. Can't remember the other two artists on it, which sounds like it's been so long. Like I worked at Penny Road at the time. So this is at Penny Road Pub.
Penny Road Pub?
Penny Road Pub.
Where the fuck is that at?
It's in Barrington.
Okay.
It's
not around here.
It's a 4 a.m. Cook County bar.
4 a.m. bar.
Yeah.
That's what Dino used to yell at all the time.
I was working there. I was with my buddy George Medic. He was a talent buyer. So he bought the In This Moment Women of Rock tour. I think as women have, I don't know, it's been so long. It's been like, I was 21. Okay. So I'm 35 now. So it's been like a good bit.
Well, you're not 35 yet, sir.
Yeah, 35 too.
Doing it.
Right. So anyway, back to the story. So my buddy George booked this, and the bus comes rolling in, and in this moment we're starting to get even bigger at the time, and Maria Brink was sick, and I was like her personal like security / like stage manager for the show. So I go out there and I make sure that, you know, everything's okay and like she's doing all right. And she's super, super nice. Like one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And so then show happens, everything, you know, goes well for the most part. And it was just a killer absolute show. She did like so amazing.
Even she wasn't feeling well?
She was sick. She was super sick, and she played an awesome set. And she was super friendly, still did the autograph signing. And I was like standing next to her as she was going through.
And that's how she started Corona?
Yeah.
That's how she started COVID?
We got interrupted by the two dudes again that are
Same
drunk.
two dudes.
Read the fucking room, like you obviously see something going on. We'll walk through it definitely. Anyway,
no, I could hear him outside contemplating. Like, should we walk through again? And I was like, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't like you're cool, bud. We got
Whoever married those two dudes, I'm sure you're loving life right now. Anyway,
we should have them come over. Can we just have your names, please?
They're coming out with us.
Let me tag you in this shit. You fucking fucks.
But yeah, so anyway, so she was super sick, played an absolutely killer show. It was fantastic.
Oh, that mustache is
She was
fantastic.
super nice. She still did an autograph signing, even though she was under the weather. Mm-hmm. And then in the bar industry, what happens is like you get a rider from the bands, which is a list of like all the stuff they want. Like, you know, the movie Airheads always makes fun of like the riders, like picture of B. Arthur, helmet full of cottage cheese, that kind of shit.
Dude, fucking Airheads is such a fucking good
So,
movie.
no disrespect for the owners at the time of Penny Road Pub, but they shorted a couple things on the rider. And my job is, if that happens, to go find said things to make everything run smoothly. So as I did that, my buddy George was on the bus still, and this was Mother's Day weekend. Like, it was Mother's Day morning, technically, after they got done playing.
Okay.
So they, so my buddy George is on the bus, and Maria Brink walks out thinking that just her bandmates are there, not realizing that George is there, and she's basically just in her underwear, technically. And, like, obviously, you know, she's a gorgeous woman.
I'm going to try this shit.
She's awesome.
I feel like I need to Google Maria Brink.
My buddy George paused, couldn't handle the moment. He looks up at her.
He was in the moment, and he couldn't handle it.
Yeah, couldn't handle it in the moment.
In the moment.
In this moment. And he looks up at her and he goes, "Happy Mother's Day."
That's all he said.
Happy Mother's Day is all he said, and the bus erupts, crying. The driver, me, everybody on the bus, the full band, Maria Brink herself, is just crying, laughing. It's the funniest thing that any of us have probably heard till date. Like, it was absolutely so fucking funny. The second question.
Oh, there's two from BP?
What?
Two for BP?
Yeah.
Oh.
The second one from BP is most talented artist, period, man or woman. That's really hard for me. I'm an Elvis fan for sure. Although, like, lately I've been, like, less pro Elvis because I read a couple books, and I guess he was a really big asshole. So that's kind of a bummer. But I'm not also one of those people that just, like...
Steve and Viv just did they were in Nashville for Chrissy's wedding over at Lagoon, and they went and did the Nashville, like, I'm not sure it was a country rock and roll Hall of Fame or whatever was down there. Yeah, it ended up being they had the limo there from that was Elvis's limo, like the big fucking thing. So
yeah, so I mean Elvis technically is like I guess kind of my guys walking through again.
See you guys.
I
bid you adieu.
My favorite, but that's a really hard question because like me musically, I kind of transfer back and forth. Like I grew up listening to. Which is crazy because everyone says, like, wait, you're not from the time period. What do you mean growing up? But I grew up on the Everly Brothers, Patsy Cline, Merle Haggard, Beatles, Stones, Eagles, Pure Prairie League.
A lot of very diverse.
They're just like very like diverse. John Prine, you know, like all those kind of old school rockers. My mom actually has a crazy rock and roll story. Joni Mitchell's also great. Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, we're just rocking Fleetwood at the.
My mom has crazy
yesterday.
Janis Joplin story.
Okay.
So my mom lived in New York in the 60s and early 70s. Like the prime, like when Bob Dylan was doing like basement shows in New York. She lived there, and one night she was out, and she caught a cab. And back in those days, before Uber, obviously,
Yeah, good cabs, everything.
you cram like whoever's trying to go to wherever into one cab.
Yeah, and they
you
wouldn't
split
care.
the fee.
Yep.
She split it with oh, my brain just brain fart. Not.
You're talking to the wrong person, man. I know you said Janis Joplin, but
Yeah, Janis Joplin.
oh, sorry, I thought you were going with more people than just Janis.
Yeah, I just know I totally sleep.
Oh. He
Yeah,
blacked
so-
out for a second, guys.
So she had a cab ride with Janis Joplin, and like it's a good story and a bummer at the same time. Like it's cool that she like was sharing the cab, but like 2 weeks later, Janis Joplin passed away. Rest in peace. But my mom was like, yeah, she was definitely disheveled and not keeping herself in the right order. But it was
Janis was?
Janis Joplin,
Yeah.
no matter what. So that was pretty cool. I think she might be one of the most talented artists ever. But it also changes. Like I feel like Billie Eilish is super talented. I really like her.
I can't.
Her writing is super talented. I
love-
know she writes with her brother, but
We were just talking about her songs. Like, I like her songs like, was it Bad Boy or Bad Guy? Bad Guy. And I like it. Man, but I feel like I have to turn it up so goddamn loud to hear what she's saying, which I guess is, but that's what she's doing.
I'm
like-
deaf, so I have to turn everything up really loud.
Dude, so like I find like I've been jamming that song, but it's like a punk remake on it. Like somebody remade it, and I love it because like the freaking lyrics are obviously are up like into a different level then. But yeah, now I'm having a brain fart with dead air. What were you talking about, stupid guys?
7-0, first quarter.
First quarter, 7-1, 4-4.
Chiefs, Packers.
Packers, game of the week. Jordan Love.
Here at Benton STreet Tap,
And Ben Straight Tap.
every Sunday, $1.50 cans.
Oh, I know I was going to ask you. So, everybody I talk to, it brings up you, has to mention your mother. Is your mother like fucking Mother Teresa, like the biggest saint ever? Because I guess your mom is like the nicest person I've never met.
My mom is a saint.
Sonny, Stephanie, and Mal, everybody's like this. They can't say enough of how nice your mom is.
My mom's the only reason I have friends.
Okay.
If it wasn't for my mom, everyone would probably hate me. Because everyone's like, your mother's so sweet. I really think that's the reason that people still are friends with me,
come
just
around
because
you?
of my mom. But no, my mom is very cool. She's very like old school rock and roll kind of style. She's just awesome.
That's cool.
And she's super sweet. She's very like pro me doing music and me doing like anything that has to do with music.
Now, I didn't know, like I don't edit my show, so I hope when I ask you this, it's not off the cuff. I didn't know you were adopted.
That's a funny story.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know
so-
you're Brazilian, right?
Yeah, backstory. I was adopted from Brazil. I was born there. My birth mother couldn't afford to take care of me. No one knew who like the birth dad was. She dropped me off on the steps of a church in Brazil, and no one saw who she was. And then she gave me to an orphanage, and then the orphanage was going to give me to a French family. So my actual birth name is Aramis, which is French from the Three Musketeers.
Okay.
So that's my actual like
Aramis?
birth name. Yeah. So that was supposed to be like where I was gonna go was France. But then my mom came down, and she was like, "I want the closest thing to a newborn." It was me. They were like, "Hey, this kid is like a month preemie. You probably don't want that. Might be issues. Who knows?" And I was like, "Nope, that's the one." So, we've kind of been inseparable since.
Okay.
I think that was destined to be like my mom and I. She might as well birth me because we're super tight.
Cool. Oh yeah. No, when did you? Oh, see,
What?
she got you from when you were
Yeah,
still
I
in
was a
Brazil?
month. I was 3 weeks old when she got me.
In Brazil.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
but
All
I
right.
wasn't allowed. I wasn't allowed to leave Brazil until I was a month old.
Okay.
So everyone was there. My mom, my dad, everyone was there for a month,
Okay.
staying at my godmother's house
Okay.
in Brasilia. and then we came out here.
Oh, all right.
Well, we actually lived in Atlanta, Georgia, the outskirts, for 5 years, and then after that we came to good old Crystal Lake.
As
And I
someone
lived
say,
there.
oh, it's LA. Sorry, I don't got the ATL sign anymore. I can't remember how to do it.
Into the ATL.
Oh yeah, A-Town.
I'm actually a Braves fan too, also.
But you got the Pittsburgh logo on your hand, bro.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is everything to me. Pittsburgh is like, my mom and dad met in Pittsburgh. My mom is from outside of Pittsburgh, Indiana, PA. Shout out to the Indiana, PA folks. And that's where my love of the Pirates, Penguins, Steelers came from since birth. Mac Miller was my guy.
Mac.
He was a big, like, Pittsburgh native, obviously. And when he was coming up, my cousins and I were still hanging out in Pittsburgh. So everyone kind of knew who he was. And then he blew up, got super big, and it was really cool to see. Unfortunately, he passed away. I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah, he passed.
I was talking to my ex-girlfriend, and I was gaming at Cabin.
Damn.
And I was not winning on the machines, and I was super salty.
Already.
And I got a text message, and it said, "Hey, Mac Miller died," and I was like, it was the worst. That's probably like the celebrity death
That got you?
next to Kurt Cobain that hit me the hardest. And I remember, like, I was like only 4 when Kurt Cobain died, but I remember it. Like, I remember watching like Kurt Loder on ESPN or on MTV News, saying like, "Hey, this happened." Crazy.
That's true, because I don't have anything. I don't know why. I don't have anything like that's. I can't, on top of my off the cuff. Like I can't think of like a celebrity death or anything. Like I know some people, like, I'm not gonna name drop them, but when I think Norm Macdonald just passed away, and then he was like super upset that Norm Macdonald just passed away, and then I know multiple people, like Mac Miller. I know Haley, and she's not across from us anymore, but Haley, you know, she was super upset. Fucking DMX, like shit like that. But yeah, so yeah, we're talking about. So do you have any upcoming shows that you want to plug at all?
We're working on some stuff. We're trying to. Usually, I don't say what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
But we're trying to do something at Offsides. We're basically in a tour break right now. We just got done doing all of our summer shows, and then we kind of like took a break for a minute. They played 2 shows without me, like not in a bad way or anything. But they did 2 shows, and I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. And then we got like everyone back together. We have a new guitar player that we're super stoked on, so that's gonna be awesome. And we're like, all right, so our drummer, he's having a child in December.
Mark?
No,
you have a different drummer.
My touring drummer.
Oh, okay.
Jeff.
See, I didn't know you had
Jeffrey Cashmere.
I guess I just didn't know you had a double flip like that. Or, you know,
Yeah,
like 2 different.
I have a
different
whole
views.
like different band that I play with.
Okay.
That's the Wade B stuff. So shout out to Wade B.
Wade B?
Yeah, check
Okay.
Wade B out on Instagram, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that stuff. He's on every platform.
funny,
That's who
I
I
know-
toured with the last 2 years was Wade B.
See, it's funny, I know this stuff, but I have to like play.
It was Bubba Sparks before that.
Oh, so Wade B is Bubba Sparks now?
No, well.
Oh, you were with Bubba Sparks.
I was with Bubba Sparks.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was saying. That was going to be my next question. Like,
Yeah.
I knew you were with Bubba Sparks.
That tour is how I met Wade B.
Oh, I'm so old.
And then we became
Can't even
friends,
take
and then
legs.
eventually ended up playing in his band. I picked up the bass, learned how to play that somewhat.
Oh, you're slapping the bass.
Yeah, I'm a shitty bass player,
Slapping
but I
the
make it work.
bass. Bum, 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 bum.
So like basically that's how that went. And then so we're trying to do Offsides in Woodstock.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get to do a whole lot of Illinois shows. We travel a ton to other states, like mostly the South.
Why don't you do a lot of Illinois shows?
We get booked at like we have a booking agent.
Is it your? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like your style of music. It was like kind of pushing more to the south.
I mean, I think Illinois is a big cover band thing. So like live, the original stuff, you don't see that much.
So
I mean, you see it, but you don't see it.
what's the? They literally play every fucking time you're anywhere, and they're offsides, Cobb's, outside festivals. They're around the area. Don't get me wrong, they're not. They're good. I just can't think what's the. Oh, is that picked? Sorry, but what's the? God damn it! It's like 2 dudes.
Sorry, she just distracted me with pizza.
Pizza. You can put it right there.
That's
Or
fine.
put it up there. It's fine. Yeah, I'm good.
Shout out to Alexa, bringing me a
Alexa.
pizza. She's moving to Hawaii, so come visit Alexa right now.
I thought you were gonna get another drink. I was like, wait, Alexa. come
Actually,
back.
I fucked that up. Shit.
Alexa, go ahead, dude. You're fine.
Alexa!
People, it's funny enough, you just start hearing Alexa's ding, ding, ding. Alexa, bring me a drink.
Yeah,
It doesn't work like that.
But anyway, so yeah, we're trying to do something at offsides. We don't get to play Illinois a lot. Can you do me a favor? Can I have another Busch Light and another Miller Light?
Hey, Kenny. Man, why am I brain farting on that damn
So we don't get to do a lot of Illinois stuff because we just usually get booked at mud parks.
Mud parks?
Yeah, mud parks is this like subculture
Okay.
where like it's ATVs, side by sides, crazy, ridiculous redneck parties.
Love it.
It's insane. It's honestly everyone is super like, oh well, why would you go down there? I don't see you like having a good time there. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Dude, that sounds amazing. So where do mud parks? What are mud parks usually be?
So mud parks are basically like this. It's just two different things. Where most of these mud parks have like competitions where it's either like monster truck stuff, ATV stuff, and there's competitions the whole way through, and it's on a giant plot of land in the south. And there's ones in like Texas, Florida, West Virginia, like, you know, all over really.
Yeah.
And it's a subculture of crazy rednecks that party, and they're the best people ever.
Outside?
Yeah,
outside. One of those shows I see you do, like at Nico's, like a lot of shit you do seems to be outside, and I dig that shit. I love outside.
Yeah, we do most of our shows are outside. We do a couple indoor ones. I mean, like I said, we get booked for like the mud park thing more than anything else, so that's like a huge thing.
It seems to be like, I don't know, I've seen you dress up really nice too, but I see like I feel like your natural habitat is kind of like overalls and a fucking country hat, dude, and just doing your own thing. I feel like sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
you don't seem country, but I feel like you got some country in you.
I definitely am. I'm from the South originally, so I do have like some southernness. I think it was about 2012. I started getting more into like old school country, rock and roll. I like that kind of like the way they dress and the look. Because I've always felt that they looked sharp and they like looked good. And my grandfather on my mom's side was always my favorite person, and he was like really into like dressing well.
Yeah.
Like looking good for what you're doing.
Which is weird, because like these days that's not a thing. And we miss that.
And like when I was younger, I was like Osiris's, tight jeans, and like sports hoodies or jerseys, or like, you know, other kind of skateboarding clothes forever. And then I kind of want to build my own style.
You do have your own style. If you've never seen this dude dress when he does his shit, man.
I gotta give like a shout out to Yellow Wolf, because that's like a lot of my influence on my style too. Is like his like the way that, because the way he was raised, his mom used to tour with a bunch of bands, and that's how he got into like the music scene. And I feel like my life's kind of the same way, differently, with my mom getting me into music and like, you know, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So he was kind of bringing country, rock and roll, and hip hop all together, and those are all the things that I love. So that's kind of how like my dress started going from regular like, you know, skateboarding shit to just kind of like cowboy boots, nice tight jeans that are black, and then kind of like rotating it. Then I came out with my logos for Danny Vintage and threw those on some clothes. Then started the merch thing, and
yeah, actually, I have that on my notes to talk to you about. Like, how do people buy merch and stuff like that?
You can buy merch either directly through me. We're working on actually getting a website together where there will be a link where people can just kind of buy stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's kind of been like, you know,
just word of mouth and just doing
yeah. Definitely word of mouth.
I hear you.
It's funny because like when you're touring, you never really think, like, because you're, you know, with another artist.
Yeah.
You don't think that people are going to be like, hey, I'm really into your gear. Where can I get it?
Right.
So, like, because I almost feel like it's rude for me if I'm touring with Wade to bring, like...
To bring your own shit that's
my
not
merch.
Wade, yeah.
But he's super cool, and he's like, no, dude, absolutely do it. Like, you know, run it. And I did everything from, like, yoga pants, booty shorts, crop tops, T-shirts, tanks. You know, something for everybody.
Now, I'm brain fart. Is it a tiger? Is it a tiger, right? The tiger is yours?
Yeah.
I thought. In my head, I thought it was a leopard, but I'm like, no, because I did the leopard on Haley's hand, and it wasn't a leopard.
My buddy Jeremy Thomas, shout out to him, is a crazy good graphic designer, and he made the original logo. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and he just kind of like said, no, what do you think of this? So the tiger thing stuck, and then Mark S's and Danny Vintage also have the same, it's not the same logo, but it's another tiger. And that kind of became like our thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
With a tiger. I mean, I went to Crystal Lake Central, so that was like kind of like a homage to like my school.
Yeah.
Like, I had a good time there. So, like, I met a lot of friends that I've had for my whole life. So, you know, definitely wanted to roll with a tiger theme. And honestly, when I first came out with the merch, I didn't think anyone other than my mom was going to buy anything. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise when people in Canada, 15 states in the U.S.
Hell yeah.
wanted to buy merch. I was like super humbled by it, 'cause it's definitely, you know, a really cool thing that I did not see coming.
That's dope, dude. Hell yeah. Dude, that's 15 states and in Canada. That's fucking dope, dude.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was like, it's one of those things where like, you're like, am I a tool for having my own merch?
Nah.
And then it like,
That's what it is, baby.
you know, thank you.
I mean, shit. All of us tattoo artists have it. It's all this extra income. He's going.
I think everyone should. I'm actually working on a new thing right now where I'm doing merch for bartenders.
Okay.
How bartenders have like their like regulars.
Yeah.
So I'm building them like band tee / like sports team apparel.
Okay.
For your favorite bartender.
All
And I
right.
want them to like sell it to their regulars.
Yeah.
So like one Sunday you come in to see your favorite regular, and it's like everybody's wearing
your
like
shit.
the shirt for that person.
That's cool. But yeah, I mean,
That's the early works.
No, yeah. I mean, I just talked to a dude like. You always see him at Warp Corp. Where are you going? Just walking. Just gonna walk in front of the frame like those douches. I'm kidding. Wait, are you leaving? All right, bye.
That was Haley.
Haley.
Holes by Haley.
Holes by Haley. Holes
She
by
does a
Hales.
lot of piercings.
Holes by Hales. But yeah, there's a guy down here. He used to work at Warp Corp. Now he works at the place down the corner. He's got, I guess, he does some screen printing, and I'm working on some new hoodies and shit for the wintertime. That's why I've been really pushing my Wu-Tang shirts, my Wu-Tang mom shirts, like for like $10 at the shop just to get them out, and so I can just flip over and do some hoodies. But yeah, I've been doing some like dark script, like dark art type hoodies.
My buddy Robbie, who was the GM at Broken Oar forever, he started a company, and he actually does all my merch for Benton Street and for my Danny Vintage
Is he local,
stuff.
or where's he at?
He's local. He's in Wakanda.
Okay.
So he's
Because
done
I'm kind of playing around to see who I got. My buddy Carlos, I used to work with the Blue Magic. I got this guy down here, Exiled. You know, it's called Warped Exiled. His Instagram. Warped Exiled.
Shout out to Tombstone Pizza.
Tombstone. So Warped
5 cheeses.
5 cheeses. I'm over here munching on gum. I'll eat that in a bit. Yeah, Warped Exile is his name. I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna do like kind of like a test run on like 5, 5, and 5, like different people to see if I can figure out which ones I can trust with my shit.
Yeah, I mean he does a killer job. His hoodies are absolutely phenomenal.
We gonna do Tombstone?
And I've been very happy with like the merch that he's come out with.
Yeah.
And like the cool thing about it is like he gets like good quality stuff.
That's the thing I'm worried about, because like I like the shit that I had before because it was kind of this fit, the canvas shirts, and I like the canvas fit shirts because they're very breathable, and they fit real nice. And they still
Yeah, and the older I get,
they almost like stretchy, the stretchy kind of like fit on them.
The older I get, breathable is definitely like a really important thing because I get like fatter.
Well, dude,
And my endurance is not like the same as it used to be. Like when I play hockey games, I still play like 3 times a week.
that's awesome. I'm over here pulling hammies, trying to pick up a golf ball in my indoor golf league.
Well, truth be told, in my game the other day, I definitely pulled like my hamstring a little bit.
Something is on fire in my
That
ass
shit
cheek.
hurt.
Dude, my ass cheek is on fire. I can't even cross my legs right now. I keep trying to want to, but I can't.
We only had 8 skaters.
Oh, it's the worst, dude. Especially if you're a younger person. If you have older people on your team, then they're like, "No, dude, you gotta stay out there." That's why when I played with Dino, like
I was
the
the old
youngest
guy
person.
staying out there.
What? You like staying out there?
I was the old guy staying out there.
Oh.
My shifts were like 4 minutes long. Technically in hockey, they're usually like a minute. Ours were 4.
Oh, fuck that.
So I was sweating to the 80s.
Sweating to the 80s. I got a couple, just a few things left, just because I'm trying to keep this around 30 minutes. It's at 40 minutes now. Craziest thing, kind of like what BP was asking you about, things at shows. What's the craziest thing at a show? Obviously, you said the funniest thing, obviously. You said your favorite female artist that you worked with. What's like kind of like craziest thing that you've seen?
Sorry, I was answering a question.
Oh, you're fine. I know we're doing. He's kind of live chatting with people too while we're doing the show.
So I'm trying to answer a live question and also multitask.
Yep.
It's a dual story, honestly. I have a couple. I'll tell a couple safe answers on that one.
All right.
I've never seen anything like too ridiculous. Like And my band's actually way chiller than people think. Like, people think, like, oh, man, you're in a band, you're on tour. It's probably crazy all the time. Nope, we spend most of our time in hotels.
Yeah.
And then we go to our shows, drink with the people, sign whatever they want, go back to the hotel, wake up the next morning and go wherever we need to. So it's not as actual crazy as everyone thinks. But one time I was in Tennessee with Bubba Sparks. Obviously, everyone knows Miss New Booty.
I was just thinking that. I was literally just thinking that hit in my head when you said that.
It's definitely a Miss New Booty story.
Rocking everywhere.
So what we did in our sets is we played it twice. We played it once at the end, and then we invite, and like the promoters wanted it, like they threw us extra money to do it. They wanted to have like a booty shaking contest after every show.
Wait, I feel like the booty shaking contest would be a great thing for, or a wet t-shirt contest thing with the, what's that? What'd you call it? The pit party? No, what'd you call it? The country ones.
For like the outdoor.
Yeah,
like,
what do you call those?
Mud parks.
Mud park. I mean, mud parks be rocking with a wet t-shirt contest.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna step away from that.
No, you're right. It's like
yeah,
it's a cool thing, and people always get into it.
Yeah.
But it's my mom's calling me right now. Figures.
Oh, she knows. She's like, wait, don't answer that.
It was interesting because like obviously I had to hear Miss New Booty every day. So every time I'm in a club now and I hear it, I'm just like, oh, fuck.
Just reminiscing.
This song. It throws me back every time. Shout out to Bubba Sparks, super nice guy.
Is he? He's got a lot of cool cars.
Yeah, he's really nice. He's an interesting dude for sure. But he was cool. He was cool to work with. So anyway, we were on stage, and this venue that we were playing at was decent size, but the stage wasn't very big. So when the encore came out, everyone was basically like, all right, it's time for like the Miss New Booty contest.
Again.
All the girls who want to get in, jump up on the stage. I swear to God, 60% of the room wanted up on the stage.
Did you have to just be like, sorry, ma'am, you not get
girls
on here?
were like falling into our drummer's like set, like his setup. There were so many people on this fucking stage.
I feel like before the song even started, you should have just made cuts.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was no security there. Usually the security kind of runs it.
He's like,
This is one of those shows where security was slacking a little. And there wasn't exactly, like, the most...
the talent wasn't as high as it should
safe as everything could have been.
All right.
And, like... Yeah, there was a lot of different kind of people on stage.
Bitches just slapping their booties against the drum set.
And then that song came on, and, like, everything was just...
It just went wild. Just went...
It was a train wreck, dude. Like... You had just like booties everywhere shaking and like.
Well, I mean,
my drummer's like
what the song says.
Hi-hat falling over and like all this shit, and he's just so pissed because like
his equipment's
our
not
drummer
cheap, obviously.
Our drummer at the time
Yeah.
was this dude out of Nashville, and I forgot his actual name because I just think of his Instagram name because it's funny. But he was not having a good time.
He was not having it.
He was super pissed.
He was not.
His dad's actually a famous like Spanish artist.
Okay.
So he's used to like giant tour buses and like security
That's
guards
the only
everywhere.
Spanish artist I know is Juanes.
Yeah. He's used to all that shit, and he was just not having a good time.
When I was in Costa Rica, Juanes
what the
was
fuck?
so hot.
like that was absolutely insane. And we like there's like 8 other stores that are close to that at different venues. Where it's just like the same kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then we were in Georgia because it was kind of a home show for Bubba Sparks and I. Like, he's more from Georgia. Like, he's friends with Outkast and, like, all those dudes. So anytime he does anything in Georgia, it's huge. He's from Rome, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Duluth. So we were playing 30 minutes outside of Duluth, and I think we were an hour outside of Rome. And we played the show. It was absolutely killer. There was actually some other, like, industry people there. This lady tried signing me to be an EDM DJ.
Oh, okay.
She's like, oh, we'll help you out with all that stuff. Another story for another time. That was crazy. And, you know, we played the show. It was really good. And then we were hanging out after, as we always do, sign shit, whatever, hang out. And then my drummer Jeff, this is our newer drummer than the other one before. So this is like 3 months later.
Okay.
He was out walking like a couple out to their car. like we met this couple. They were super cool. They were super friendly. So we're just making sure they got to their car, got there safely, and he was like making sure they didn't like drive if they couldn't.
Yeah.
And I guess the dude did something to piss off someone. Cops were called, and the cops went up and
The guy he was walking
yeah
with? Okay.
yeah. So instead of just like the cops being like, "Hey man, let me grab your shoulder," and is everything okay? They aggressively grabbed his shoulder, and he was in the military, so it was just like an like instant like don't snap back into like military mode. Yeah. Flips a cop over his shoulder.
Is that when your buddy was like, just walked away slowly?
And I'm like, I'm walking out to go outside.
And you saw the cop.
Like I went to go smoke a cigarette, and I'm like walking outside, and I quit smoking, by the way, but at the time I was going out to smoke a cigarette, and I just see all the squad cars, and I see like whatever, and then our security comes over, and we're like, Jeff just got arrested, because we traveled with security all the time, and they were like, yeah, Jeff just got arrested, and we're like, what? For what? And they told us, and he ended up flipping like 2 cops.
Jeff did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Jeff was escorting a different
He was, but the guy started shit. But then the cops came to like see what was happening.
So then Jeff started going crazy.
But like
too?
grabbed him super aggressively.
Jeff started going crazy.
And Jeff like was like, "Fuck this."
Oh,
And,
Jeff's the one that got grabbed.
Yeah. Jeff's the one that got grabbed.
Gotcha. I thought it was the guy he was escorting got grabbed.
No, Jeff's the one that got grabbed and then flipped 2 cops and was in jail. Missed our Carolina show the next day, which is where I met Wade.
Wade B?
Yeah, which is crazy how that worked out.
All right.
The Hells Angels were actually our security for that show, the South Carolina show. So that was definitely a very interesting thing to have happen.
Shout out to Hells Angels, I guess.
I know, just like a little side note. Oh yeah, nothing. Just Hells Angels being our security. But yeah, so they like, they were there and it was a little nutty. And but back to like that story. So then they like let Jeff go. They saw his military stuff and they were nicer to him about it. And he was on probation for a little bit and not really fond of Georgia for a minute.
You weren't. He wasn't.
He wasn't.
You bet.
But that's pretty much the most crazy story I have as far as that. Well, that in the town of Scottsbluff, Nebraska. It's in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. And there's like...
Is that the name of a town? Thomas Scott?
Yeah. Scottsbluff.
Oh, Scottsbluff. Okay. There's a Thomas Scott. What the fuck?
So, in Scottsbluff, they have a bar called Shots.
Shots.
When Wade and I play there, or our band plays there with Wade, it's always insane. Like, we played there with Saving Abel and a couple other bands. And it just... There's a lady there that's like the house mom, and she gets everyone super fucked up. And it's like the most insane time. Last time we played there, we played there with the singer that writes the songs for Dan and Shay.
All right.
Adam, I think Hembrick is his name. Super awesome. Check him out on Twitter and Instagram. He was playing, and he was headlining, and it was like a concert in the park for like families. So we like co-headlined it. They picked Adam and us in a limo at our hotel, drove us to this Mexican place, bought our dinner, drinks, whatever we wanted, and then drove us to our show, then drove us to another bar to do an after-party thing. So that's pretty wild. That's probably like the craziest as our stories go.
That's what I'm trying to get at. I need sponsors.
They also did one time, our booking agent, not going to give her a shout-out for this because it's not an awesome story. We played Rednecks with Paychecks Festival, which is like the Super Bowl of like redneck parties. We played it for
Paychecks?
3 years in a row, actually. I played it once with Bubba Sparks and then 2 with Wade B. And they just did a third one. They played without me because I was here. And one night when they booked us for it, they booked us another show at Scottsbluff, Nebraska the next night, which is 16 hours away. So we were in Texas playing in St. Joe, Texas. Then we drove 16 straight hours through the night to play in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Awful.
I would say your... What'd you call her?
Booking agent?
Your booking agent fucked up. It's probably a good time, but...
We have a long-running joke that our booking agent has a dart board, and it's the U.S.
Where I want to go.
And she just throws it at the dartboard, and it's just like, fuck it. We're just going to...
Doing it. Run it. Run it. All right, and then we're coming up in an hour. We're gonna do last question. You have a lot of tattoos, obviously, as do I. You do not have. I've tattooed Speicher multiple times, and I'll tell you which one I've done on you. That's my favorite. Which tattoo do you have on you that's your favorite tattoo? Obviously, do not kiss my ass. You don't have to pick mine. Oh,
Fuck.
look who's back.
I think my ass tattoo is one of my favorite ones.
You have an ass tattoo?
My ass tattoo is one of my favorite ones. It's a shape of a heart with a butt with pizza underwear. So it's a piece of ass.
Wait, start it over. I had Haley checking to see if the camera was still going. So it's on your ass. It's a piece of what now?
Okay, it's a heart shape.
It's heart shaped.
And then it's a butt. And the butt has underwear.
Yeah.
It's like a pinup girl's legs.
Yeah.
And then her butt. But the butt is pizza underwear. So it's a piece of ass.
Did Burger do it?
No.
It sounds like something Burger would do.
No, I know it does.
Pizza
Crystal
ass.
Lake, somewhere black something tattoo in Crystal Lake.
Black ink?
Yeah. They did it. And I was having my housewarming party for when I moved to Woodstock that night. So I was, true me fashion, late to my own party, getting tattooed. And my buddy got it with me. So we had matching tattoos.
Pizza asses.
His fiance at the time, shout out to Amanda and Jeremy Thomas, she was not happy that we were getting matching ass tattoos.
I love it.
So
I love it. I didn't know you had an ass tattoo.
yeah. And then, honestly, I love my Statue of Christ in Brazil. I have one for my mom and my dad on my wrist, so they're always together.
Yep. Your mom and your dad ones I love those ones.
I got my Elvis one. I do actually love the owl that you tattooed on me.
the hand one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my Mac Miller tribute.
Yeah, the pizza one. I like that one. What'd you
And
do this
then-
one? What's this one?
This one I got from Burger.
Has that always been there?
No.
Was that there when I did the hand?
No.
Oh, okay.
This one came later, and then you did this one
Yep.
too.
I think
So-
your throat,
so-
the hand ones, or the throat one, I think is my favorite because I
The
think
throat
I think
one-
you were one of my first throat tattoos.
The throat one is the one I get complimented on the most with the wings because I think it just done, not to kiss your ass obviously, it's just done really, really well, and it looks really, really good.
It does. Yeah, I mean, when the hand ones were vibrant, but again, you being in a darker tone, like it kind of takes it over, like the colors that were in it, or it kind of
Which
like
is
got mellowed out a
funny
little
because
bit.
everyone's always like, why do you get tattooed? And they're like, does it show? And I'm like, yes, it
Obviously.
shows, and you can see color everywhere.
But yeah, your throat one definitely pops. Every time I see you, I'm like, yep, I did that.
Let me see if I have any more questions.
I don't know. Yeah, check to see, because otherwise I'm going to break it down because I got my recorder's on low battery, and we're almost hitting an hour anyway, so we need to check out this Packer game. Is that a touchdown for the Packers?
But yeah, I mean, all my tattoos I love. I got a couple ones that I don't, that are like random ones I got when I was like 16, 17, that didn't age well
You'll have that.
on my skin, but they're
A
cool.
little lighthouse.
Little lighthouse. I wish I would have waited a little bit to get like so many.
Right.
So I basically had 2 full sleeves when I was 24.
You just got to. I feel like you just got to do the dot work, the traditional dot work inside your tattoos to finish that one up.
Yeah, I got like
Yeah, the old star,
traditional
yeah, the
dots.
old dots and stars. Oh yeah.
But you know, I love tattooing. I've always been a fan of it. My mom hates it, so I'm very sorry to my mom because she is never a giant fan of all the tattoos that I have. But you know, tattooing is definitely a part of like the music industry and everything, and it's become a part of my life. So a lot of the tattoos are the same as like when I write a song or
Yeah.
play a song. They just have that, you know, connected meaning.
Well, dude, I mean, just in general now, it's become so more acceptable, and I mean, especially when you're in our industry, to where like you can kind of express yourself via artwork on your body. You know, I mean, obviously I do tattoos, so I mean, it's a whole different story for me. But like when in general, like you, music-wise, again, it's another thing you can just, you know, express yourself, man, however you're feeling at the microphone. You know, anything that you want to do, put on your body, man. It's like it's your own canvas. You can express yourself however you want.
I think it's awesome that it's become more mainstream. I mean,
It
for
is.
so long it was like such a taboo thing.
I had like a couple weeks ago. We had, I mean, me being used to being an art teacher, and I had 2 art teachers in the shop, and they were almost fully. They were finishing their sleeves, and I'm like, "Are you tenured?" They're like, "No," and I'm like, "And you're getting full sleeves?" I'm like, "This is insane to me." Like these days, like, that you could just like get full sleeves as a art teacher or a teacher in general, and then keep and keep your job. Like even like 8 years ago, 9-10 years ago, like when I first got out of college. When I first got out of college, dude, like you couldn't have like I have like the line right here. Like I had it cuffed right here. I had it cuffed. I love we're doing a podcast.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I had it cuffed here. I had it cuffed to where like you couldn't see below and all this.
That's how I started.
None of that was there, dude.
Where I was like, okay, I got one when I was a senior in high school. I got the obligatory cross tattooed on my arm with tribal. Super original.
I was swallowing. I wouldn't ask was it tribal.
Shout out to Josh Menta. He did it in his parents' kitchen.
All right.
He started tattooing in high school, so I was the first test dummy. Turned out actually really well for it being like a first tattoo in someone's kitchen. And I didn't get sick.
Where'd you get it at? All right.
Not terrible, right?
No, not at all.
I got this added on later. But yeah, even at the time I got it, there was not a ton of people getting tattooed. And now it's becoming such a mainstream thing, and I'm glad that people are becoming more acceptable about like different kind of, things, coming into play. And like, even like Benton Street, we're trying to do like a bunch of new stuff. Like we've done a couple drag shows here, which is super awesome.
Hell yeah, I didn't know that. That's cool.
I got two of my friends, my friend Noah and my friend Crystal Ball. They are two drag queens in the area. Yeah, and they are like the most badass people ever.
When I was in Calgary tattooing, I went on a brewery tour like one of the days. Multiple brewery tours. It was kind of just like, it was crazy. Like I went to one of the breweries and they handed me like this booklet. And they're like, here you go. And then they just opened the page up and they pinched it for me. And I was like, what is this? Like, this is all, because they knew I was from the States. And they're like, these are all the frickin' breweries in this area. So they said, literally, there's like 30 within like a weird area of different breweries. So like, I literally just got out at one and then just walked in the middle of winter. And I'm here fucking all covered up, walking from place to place. But the last one I went to, I was the only one at. And I was like, man, you guys getting ready to close? He's like, actually, no. He's like, this is like a weird hour because like it's about ready to get crazy. I was like, why? He's like, oh, because we have like a private, it's not private. He's like, they said they have like this huge drag show getting ready to happen. I was like, shit. I'm like, I've been drinking all day. I'm like, I'm ready to go back to my house, back to my Airbnb and go to sleep. And I was like, otherwise I'd be intrigued to see this.
But you went?
Huh?
So you saw the drag show?
I didn't, no, because I was lit. I was like, dude, I did like 9 different breweries that day. And that last one, I remember the best was an all 80s one. You go upstairs to it, and it was called 88. And you went upstairs to it, I think it was called 88. 88, and you went upstairs, and everything up there was from 1988. So there was like, the Olympics were on, the 1988 Olympics were on the TV. There's random video games plugged into all these little TVs, like old school, like shitty 80 TVs that you would have in 1988 were in the behind the bartenders.
That's badass.
And all on different sitcoms of 1988.
There was like Blockbuster stuff there?
Yeah, dude. And then you go over here, I'm over here playing the old school Nintendo by myself, like fucking Duck Hunt and shit, like on this old school old school TV. It was cool. And they had this, the one beer that I remember there was a, not Cocoa Krispies. It was, oh my God, the Fruity Pebbles. It was called Fruity Pebbles. And it had a milk back end, so it tastes like you were drinking the milk of Fruity Pebbles.
I think, here's my thing, like, to all you craft beer lovers out there, I'm not shitting on you. I don't think the craft beers are that great. And I know that's like poking the bear, kind of, because like, I just feel like they're like, I don't want to say, okay, there are good ones. I don't want to say there's none good ones. That sounds like an angry old man.
Yeah, like, wait.
There's no good music these days. Everything's terrible.
Everything's
terrible. No, there's
terrible.
lots of good music. You just have to find it. So I think that's like the same thing with beer.
Yeah.
For me, though, personally, I'm a Miller Lite drinker. Make fun of me all you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
I can't do seltzers. They give me heartburn. But so like I've gone to all these breweries and I've tried like a bunch of stuff. I love Bell's Brewery.
I've been to more. I
have been to more.
You have?
Yeah, my buddy Joe Polk works there, so go see Joe Polk.
I did it with Aaron. I think his last name was Kefner. I can't remember Aaron's last name. I did the podcast there with him, and it's crazy. They turn their like They don't call them malts. They call them something other beers that they turn into ice cream.
My buddy Steven worked there too.
Okay.
He's the one who does all my like Danny Vintage hats now.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it was crazy. Like they marbled beers. They call them marbled.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they turn those like kind of like frothy beers. Like they turn them into the thicker beers, like the fruit, like the pureed fruit and shit in them. They turn those into ice cream there, and I was like, that's crazy to me.
I've had some of their beers, and I've actually liked them.
See,
those beers I like.
So that's why I'm talking about the marbled beers that have like that dessert back end taste.
Yeah.
Like I'm more of a dessert. If I'm getting away from these kind of, I don't mind like IPAs, but I have to be like I'm really like narrowing it down to like New England's IPAs now. Because New England's don't have that weird back end taste. They're a smoother finish. They're more
Busch Light and Keystone, they like do something bad to my stomach.
Oh, real?
They fuck with me. I can't drink that.
You know what fucked up my stomach yesterday? Spinach. Spinach rolled me at the shop. I was like, and I was trying to watch Squid Games, and I was like, God, I'm dying.
You just randomly had spinach just during the day?
I didn't know. It was my dinner at the shop. So yesterday I had an all-day appointment. I was supposed to do a bunch of traditional.
Out of nowhere, I'm at the shop just chowing down on spinach.
Can of spinach. No, but no, I didn't know it was in there because it had Brussels sprouts, it had broccoli, and I'm assuming in this other mix in there.
Wait. So you had dinner that had Brussels sprouts and spinach?
Well, no, I didn't know the spinach was in there.
Because what do you
I don't eat.
Where's this from?
Home chef. So the wifey makes it for me.
So you're trying to like eat healthier?
Yeah. Actually, I just try to eat not the same shit because, dude, I'm such a creature of habit. When I was at... Yeah, I'll figure that out.
We'll get you later, Jacob.
Jacob, sorry, man. I'm doing the podcast. I'll get you in the book soon. But no, we do home chef. So, like, what I do is I'm a creature of habit. Like, when I worked out at Monster, all I did, dude, like, every fucking day when I was on the way to work, I would order from Buffalo Wings and Rings. And now I'm in Woodstock. I order Oliver's. I'll do Cobb's. Public House does lunch every once in a while, but most of the time, dude, I'm just Jimmy John's. I can just order it on the way to work or Chipotle. It's just easy for me, so I can set up for my tattoo. The food comes, I eat, and then I'm ready for the day.
I have a Chipotle problem.
And then at night, yeah, dude, the quesadillas.
I've never had the quesadillas.
Dude,
so I'm gonna be honest with you, and it's like with everything in my life, I'm the biggest creature of habit.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Like
I just can't.
I ate only Jack's frozen pizzas for probably 25 years.
Then now we're eating Tombstone.
I switched to Tombstone. My buddy called me out. He said the Tombstone was better. I tried it. He made a believer. If I go to McDonald's, I order the same thing every time. I go to like DC Cobb's, same thing every time.
Really?
Miller Lights every time. I'm the most like boring, predictable like food person.
Huh.
Like my hot dogs, sorry Chicago, ketchup mustard.
All right.
They're just like
show's
onions.
over.
I don't like. Right, we can't be.
Sorry, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Onions are my thing.
I hate onions. That's weird. That's the one thing I can't have unless I'm eating a steak. I can eat steak. I can eat
onions in the sauce.
Okay.
Like
oh yeah, sauce. No. I'm saying. I mean, I can throw sautéed onions and stuff with other like any kind of like meat, brat, stuff like that. But if it's just like McDonald's or like even any kind of raw onion, I just don't like it for some reason. And salads.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% not a fan. I think it's
sautéed up, baby.
I think that everyone who loves onions like an extra amount, I don't trust you as a person.
Right.
We're not friends.
Dead to me.
Unless you're cool.
Unless you're cool. Well, shit, man. All right, we're going to end it here because it's a little over an hour already, an hour and 3. So, I mean, shit, you and I can just keep chilling. I can talking, I guess. But,
yeah, I don't want to bore everyone to death.
Sorry. Oh, no. When it comes down to it, I just know people like, shit. I mean, most people tell me, like, your podcast, your video cast should only be like 30 minutes long to keep people's attention. I'm like, yeah, but I'm just doing my thing. I'm like, you can pause it and restart the motherfucker. I don't care.
I think a lot of podcasts are like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah?
And then they just cut everything down after.
Oh, okay.
And they just put the
I don't
best
edit.
part.
I don't edit.
I
just let it raw. I don't edit. I just raw it out. Just raw dog it. That's what I'm saying. That's when I said, like, hey, about your adopted part. I'm like, I don't know, because I don't even know how to edit. So I'm like, if I have to edit this shit, it's going to take me forever.
Well, dude, thank you for coming out here.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you for coming to Benton Street for it.
Hell yeah, boy.
Honored to actually be on it. I've been wanting to do, like, a podcast.
Oh, we're going to do another one for sure. I mean, dude, I feel like you and I could just sit here and talk for a while. But, so, I mean, like, I was kind of nervous. This is, like, the one where I was actually nervous about the most because I didn't have, like, anything to really sit. Because everything I do is usually at a brewery. So I know all the questions I want to ask the brewmeister and shit. But, like, yeah, just sitting down with, like, one of my buddies and they just shoot the shit. Like the first episode we ever did was with Dino and Austin, and that shit was like a shit show mainly because we were just hammered drunk watching the hockey game. But that was also just me to get my feet wet, kind of like just being out and about getting it started. So I mean, this is fun. Yeah, you I don't know. Like, obviously, you're in front of the microphone a lot, being a DJ. So I'm like, I feel like you obviously were really well, a good person to have on because you handled it really well, and you obviously just you're not doing what I'm doing, just dead airing it. So
yeah.
you did a
Also,
good job.
people out there, stop asking me to play WAP.
WAP.
I gotta play that fucking song like 10 times a night, and it's
WAP. WAP.
It's funny because like my program that I use for DJing, says how many times you play each song.
Oh no.
And the number that I played WAP is like an ungodly, fucked up number. Actually, I'll tell you this story before we stop. It's a funny story.
Go ahead.
So I get booked to do this wedding like last minute. This couple is super cool. And it's at Mix and Mingle in Woodstock here.
Over here.
And the wedding, right over here. So the wedding itself is like the average age that was at this wedding. Because I just did the reception. I didn't do the actual wedding. Usually I do that. I do everything. This one I just did the reception. And the average age, I would say, of the attendees had to be like 50. And there were definitely quite a good number of people who were like in their 70s. So the brides always give me like do not play and do playlist. And then they give me a must play. Like songs that they absolutely have to have.
Good, Jimmy. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, we're almost done. We'll be in a minute. We'll do some drinking in a second, Boogie.
So they got like.
He goes over to the pizza.
It's not cold. We just made it.
Hey, we'll put it back in for you, bud.
But so then like. I was overload.
Sorry.
So many fucking people just walked in. A bunch of our regulars here.
He's grabbing pizza. Grabbing his
my
pizza.
Telling me that it's cold as fuck.
It's cold. It ain't
Awesome,
your
thank
pizza,
you.
motherfucker.
So anyway, so I'm at this wedding.
Fucking Jamie.
And there's like most of the crowd is like older, and like there's like probably 10 70-year-old people.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the do not plays, must plays, and must plays are what you have to play. Like the bride will forever remember. Like women, obviously, we know have like a memory.
Dude, what is it at? That's another episode.
Yeah, that's
definitely. That's like another whole hour.
Yeah, days.
Yeah.
24 days.
Just writing shit down, notes.
So they have this must play thing that's like obligatory. You have to play these songs. A lot of them are like a lot of the top 40 popular stuff, and then like Sweet Carolina and other shit like that.
Of course.
WAP was on this list.
Yes.
So I'm sitting behind my DJ decks, sweating, knowing that I have to hit play and play this song, play WAP. I'm literally terrified.
Oh.
Thinking that I'm gonna get
in my head. When I think of WAP, I think of WAP.
No.
WAP.
Yeah.
Now I know you're talking
No. Like the
wet ass.
Yeah, the wet ass pussy song.
I
don't know if I can say that here.
Oh yeah, I've been cussing all day.
Oh
yeah.
Fuck. Pussy.
Wet ass pussy. Shit balls. Cock.
So anyway, so they're like
wet pussy.
Wet ass pussy, and I'm just like
white pussy, black
sweating, looking at
yellow
these
pussy.
70-year-old people dead in the eye. Just like, I'm so sorry. And this dad is dancing with his daughter.
Yep.
On the floor. And I'm like, there's no time left for me to not play the song. Like, I have to play the song in this moment, or I'm going to run out of time. She's going to be super mad. And it's just like, whatever.
I would have called her over, but like, can I please have the bride to the fucking dance floor, please?
This song was underlined 3 times. Like, I had to do it. So what I said was, okay.
You just like slide.
I apologized before I played it.
You press the button and just like start sliding.
I wanted to cower. I wanted to literally hit play and walk out the door and come back when it was over.
You just click and run.
It was a click and run. I should have done that. But in this case, I couldn't. So I was sitting there, super stressed out about it. Ended up playing the song. Everyone was super nice about it, but you could tell that some people's
you lost the crowd.
ears were just like cringing, and they were just like, fuck, this asshole was playing this song.
And I gotta sit next to my Gam Gam.
Yeah.
Listen to this
Gam
shit.
Gam's super mad at everybody. Your nanas, your papas, they were all mad.
Got Gam Gam's like dry ass pussy.
Because like one of my biggest things that I always say to people is read the room.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta read the room. Yeah, dude, you have
This was 100% me not reading the room because I had to not read the room.
Because you had to play it.
And it was terrifying.
I'm telling you, I would have been like, ma'am, Bride, can you please come to the stage? I gotta talk to you about this one.
So for everyone who was at that wedding, I'm sorry to all your aunties, mommies, papas,
And that wet ass pussy.
your aunties,
For that
all
wet
of the
ass
above.
pussy.
That was a terrible moment of DJing.
I love it. Way to end the show with that wet ass pussy. Thanks, man.
Dude, thank you, man. It was a blast.
Everybody,
we'll do this again.
So, Dan Speicher, over here, Benton Street. Everybody come out on Sundays. Are any $1.50 cans or?
We'll have to do DJ stories next
only
time.
cans. Yeah, I'll have to give you some.
Come in for our $1.50 only cans.
Oh my God! Why is he waiting for that ball? Got it. All right, thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Romantic, isn't it? Shut up and sit down.